Hello, welcome back to our ongoing coverage here in Birmingham, England. Beautiful. It's a little dark, but there's lights. We're outdoors. That's not true. My name is Goodwill. Welcome back to the production here as we continue on and power through this Double E Lim Team Fortress 2 tournament. I'm psyched. Can we get some noise from the crowd? Can we get noise? Can you hear me out there? Yeah! We have a crowd here. We keep forgetting. I'm happy to be back here. We got look at that crowd. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, something other than fidget spinners and dabs. That's what I like to see. So we have some TF2 coming up, and we're getting into some of the good stuff. Certainly as we move along, it gets better and better. We've got a Tino here. What's up, buddy?
Hello.
Another one of our NA compatriots that has made his way here to help out with the production and whatnot.
Production and cast and coach, apparently.
How you doing, homie?
Not bad.
Yeah?
Yeah, waiting for some picks, bans. I want to see the maps.
Yeah, we have coming up is SVIFT versus Lowpander. Now, I don't think I'm telling any tales out of school here to say that this is a kind of an interesting series. Is this one that you think, are we starting to step it up a little bit?
Yeah, no, definitely. SVIFT and Lowpander would be probably 2-3 area, maybe even one contesting with 7. We have to see where exactly SVIFT stacks up with 7. We haven't seen them play yet. But they're definitely going to be 2 of the top 3 teams we currently have going on. So it's definitely going to be an interesting match to see exactly where everything's going to start to line up.
We talked about how there's kind of like a top 4 of teams. Before we kick it to the casters, we can have a look. We're using a pick ban system now for the maps. We can pull that up to have a look at what's been picked and banned. Junja, Blackout Gaming TV. There we go. So you can see here. So we start with 2 bans. You can see the format of how we do it in the upper bracket here. So we had Process and Badlands banned. We had Reckoner picked. Gully Wash picked. Banned Product. Banned Snakewater. Oh,
there we go.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Okay.
I get it.
Okay.
I was misunderstanding. This is the first time. I like this. I'm into this.
SVIFT
It's kind of
product.
like when you ban a map, it's kind of, it gets like that black and white effect of like a mugshot kind of deal, you know?
It's bad. It doesn't exist.
Like the obituary photo. So, I mean, this is great to, this is easy to interpret. I don't have to say much about this, do I? What are you expecting here, Tino? Are you kind of up on what these teams might prefer, or is it kind of a wild card thing? Because Lowpander are kind of, if there's any team here that are willing and wanting to throw a wrench in the works, I feel like it's them.
Yeah, I would definitely think Lowpander is going to be going for some weird stuff. I mean, they're Lowpander, so they kind of do some odd off-classing with their quote-unquote flex player. And knowing SVIFT being a Vanny team, they're going to try to keep things more conventional TF2. Vanny definitely likes his conventional TF2, and getting wrenches thrown into the mix doesn't really work well for him.
He's an old-fashioned dude.
Yeah, product ban, not really a surprise on that end. It's an interesting map to play, especially if it's a mixed team. It requires a lot of coordination.
It's a strange map to start off a best-of-3 series with, too, we were saying yesterday. I don't recall the teams, but it's kind of just a strange feeling. You have, like, strangely close matches on Product, which maybe wouldn't normally be close just because of the nature of how it's a Koth map, you know what I mean? It's obviously the only Koth map that we have here. Reckoner has been chosen. That's a Lowpander choice, Reckoner.
That's not a surprise at all,
Nope.
Considering Banny is a North American player, and we don't
play that
Reckoner
one
in NA at all.
Yeah,
so
one of the big differences when it comes to map pool, currently anyway, is in North America we play Metalworks, Euro doesn't.
Yeah.
ETF2L, they play Reckoner, and North America doesn't. So, that's probably maybe a bit of a predictable pick. We're waiting now on the next pick of map.
It is going to be interesting to say that Reckoner, both teams have had questionable performances on Reckoner the past weekend.
We saw SVIFT yesterday.
Both SVIFT and Lowpander both played Ascent on Reckoner.
Yep.
But in the Ascent games, it was very close. We're not quite sure if SVIFT and Lowpander are bad on Reckoner or Ascent is just very, very good on the map.
Mm-hmm.
But both teams kind of came up short when it came to expectations with that. So
we have maybe the Banny choice, picking Gully Wash, SVIFT there as the second map.
Yeah, more than likely. It's a very, it's a good map for them. You can do quite a lot on that map, especially with better DM. Just run around and shoot things.
So we've got Badlands, Snakewater, and Granary Pro left. Would I be crazy to guess that Granary will be banned by SWIFT?
I can see Granary out and Badlands out, honestly.
Yeah.
Snakewater will probably be the decider. That would make the most sense.
Yeah, I can't see Granary being chosen.
No.
Between Blands, as they call it, and Snakewater, I'm thinking. I think you might be on the right path here. I love this live pick ban, though. Isn't this great?
Yeah, no, it's nice.
This is like the game inside the game.
The mind games.
Yeah.
Oh.
Whoa!
Okay, then.
Interesting. Now, all the attention that we're giving to Banny, we got to remember there's 5 other guys on this team.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's not just up to Grant and whatever he wants to play or not play. And if you're a little newer and you don't really understand, typically the Banny team does not like Granary. That's what history has shown us. It's always the talking point when it comes to tournaments such as this. But again, I mean, there's a very strong squad on SWIFT. It's not just Banny plus 5. It's a fantastic bunch of players. Although people on the couch like to roast Raptor on Medic, but he's still a very competent Medic, and he's had a fantastic last, 6 months or a year.
I mean, Granary kind of makes sense if you think about it. It definitely restricts the silliness that Lowpander can pull off and do. It's a very flat map, a very linear map. There's not a lot of interesting or stupid strategies that you can pull out to really put the other team on tilt or get behind them effectively. It's kind of, you have to play the map in a straightforward way, otherwise you're going to have issues.
I wouldn't be surprised, though. I mean, they've been using a lot of the banners we've seen. We've seen double banner and things like that. I wouldn't expect anything weird or crazy beyond just last point off-classing, maybe a sniper here and there.
Yeah. The banners might be an interesting thing, actually, because the banners are usually used to break the stalemates, and Granary is known for its stalemates if it's known for anything.
Yep.
So that we might see permanent banners, actually, depending on what's run and how it's played out. That would be interesting.
It is an interesting wrinkle because, the stories of Granary of the, between the second point and mid is like the nightmare of trying to push through.
Yeah, Granary's not a 5 CP map. It's a 7 CP map with 5 caps. Yard is essentially its own cap that you have to fight over.
Yeah, I hear you. And so we may not even get to Granary. That'll be the decider if we go to a third map, certainly. But we have players who are just kind of readying up here now on process by the what was the first map again? Tell me, I've already forgotten. I didn't note it down. It's Reckoner first. So people are just kind of jumping around process. We're just chilling right now.
Just waiting.
Twitch chat, who do you like in this series? Do we have any Twitch chatters who think that Lowpander can upset, grab a map or two? I mean, it's not crazier things have happened at LAN,
That is definitely true.
Yeah.
I think Reckoner will be an interesting match, definitely. Just based off the Ascent games. I'm not sure if both teams are weak or if Ascent is just very, very strong. And this will really show where they stack up. It'll be interesting to see.
Let me see here. We have players that are switching maps right now. They're getting ready to add up. Reckoner RC2. So, I mean, it will be interesting. Like I say, I mean, it's hard not to talk about Banny. I mean, he came here all the way from California by himself to play with this team for LAN, and he is, the prolific guy. But it'll be interesting to see how he plays with this group, and it'll be interesting to see what does Lowpander have cooked up. But we're not going to take you through it. We've got 2 dudes over here. We have Ombrack and we have the sniper from TF2. Take it away, boys.
Hello? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We're here with SWIFT versus Lowpander. Ombrack.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about this?
I'm feeling great. How are you? I'm excited. I hope you are because this is going to be a really good game.
Yes. We've got Reckoner once again making a comeback.
Yeah.
I think the teams are recognizing how much of an impact it has on the team. They don't seem to have that grasp of what Reckoner is about.
Yeah, Tino mentioned it. It's kind of a weird pick considering both teams struggled a lot versus Ascent either like yesterday or earlier this morning, sorry. I wasn't expecting it, so there's the banning factor. Once again, he hasn't really played the map before this LAN. a bit, but not really. It's not really used to it. And Lowpander has these weird strategies. I know they love to run heavy on the middle. We've seen Muki doing heavy to mid on many maps, and Reckoner is one of them. So maybe that's the most tilting factor for Swift on this game. So maybe that's why they picked it. Again, we saw both teams struggling a lot, especially when it comes to pushing last. When we saw Swift versus Ascent really struggling to get the medic down, and he took only a drop from Babs, a really unlucky drop from Babs to unlock the situation. So yeah, Reckoner, it's really hard to predict what's going to happen on this one.
Yeah, we got the players in server, all 6 from both sides, and later on in the series, you brought up Muki on heavy. Granary was picked. It was essentially chosen by Swift because they picked the other 2 maps to ban. So that means, I would say, potentially, Lowpander has an advantage going into Granary if it goes to a 3rd map.
Yeah, because Swift surely knows that Muki is going heavy on me to Granary as well, so maybe they have some counter strategies ready to be used. I'm pretty sure both of these teams have done their homework before coming to line. They know how each other team plays. They know
exactly
the special features. So maybe this team have tricks up their sleeves that we haven't seen yet. It's possible that they have hidden their game so far and they're gonna go do crazy stuff from mids and stuff. I don't really understand the pick, but maybe there has to be.
Maybe they have a secret weapon that we don't know about.
Yeah, there has to be one, because if there's no, or maybe they're just really confident in their abilities, which it's Bunny, so it probably is anyway. But yeah, I think if you're Lowpander now, you're kind of happy with the maps.
Yeah, absolutely. The second map being Goalie Wash. We haven't seen much of that in the way of either of these teams, as far as I can remember.
I think we saw
Swift and Ascent.
Swift and Ascent,
yeah,
and it was really hard for Ascent to exist in this map because I think Swift took it 6-1, and it was really Bunny was again really good. Ali was insane, and it looks like they're really comfortable on the Goalie Wash. So that's Swift pick, so yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think one of the other reasons they chose Reckoner is because of Ali and his jump into last. They think they have confidence in Ali doing that double sticky bomb going into the last, trying to get pressure on the medic.
Yeah,
I think that's the main reason they chose Reckoner.
It's
a map where Ali can thrive on the last push to break that stalemate.
Yeah, but I think versus Ascent, we saw that he didn't really manage to do anything, and he took a rocket
just
from
kept throwing his body in there and dying.
It just looked bad for his logs. It only took us a really accurate rocket from Celentes to unlock the situation. So, but yesterday was another day. Now maybe these gamers, they have slept. Now this is brackets. This is a whole new tournament. It's not groups anymore. Now if you lose, you're in a really bad position.
Absolutely.
And if you win, your way to the finals is way easier than if you have to go through the loser bracket. So
that's exactly what I was thinking. They have to, when you're in the upper bracket, you face 3 teams in the day and you're done.
Yeah.
And then when you're, Lowpander or Swift getting knocked out into the lower bracket, you're here all night trying to get to that lower bracket final.
Pretty much.
It's going to be brutal.
And the stakes are way higher today than they were yesterday. Yesterday was all about seeding. Now it's about winning the LAN. So you can see how the pressure is bigger now on both of these teams' shoulders.
Yeah, so we're still waiting for the players to get readied up. Everyone's in the server. Not sure about any delays going on right now, but so we're just waiting on our tournament admin, Henny. Shout out to Henny. Give some hearts in the chat if you've got love for the Swede, Henny, doing so much good for this, running this tournament essentially for us, making our players get all coordinated.
So what can we expect on mid on Reckoner? We saw that Swift loves to do the double bombing soldiers, and that Muki runs a heavy. So how will they clash?
If Muki is going to go to mid as a heavy, Celentes is a null factor. If he waits to go for that double bomb, here's where the call it is. Oh, they're on the slope. Oh, they pushed through cargo, toxic, whatever call it's on these maps are.
Yeah.
If once he gets that call, Celentes will make his double jump. But if Muki gets there in time, it'll be too little, too late. So we are going live now.
For Swift, it's all about going swiftly to mid. Anyway.
Exactly. So if Celentes can make his decision early enough, I think they have an advantage in their bombs. So here we are live with the map. We have both of our demos getting primed and ready. Ali, a much more seasoned jumper overall, in my opinion. The history speaks for itself. Ali taking a little bit of fall damage there, but going to get the pack and move his way to the slope. He sees nobody yet. Sees a sticky firing from the cargo. Trying to get some stickies over the little entrance next to the cargo entrance. Rotating over to the other side is Funds on top of the crates, putting a little bit of pressure. Ali taking so much damage right away. It was a follow-up bomb from Salentes making his way around. Banny's on top of the cargo, getting pressured by Ubers. Uber's going to get taken out by Samsey though, so that is not going to work in his favor. Banny rushing to get some help. Salentes is going to spot out the heavy. He called it out, and now Mookie is going to be a factor here in this push if he doesn't get taken down.
Really clever push from SVIFT. Silentes jumped as a decoy, so people will look at him, and then Banny had 2 rockets to Crayon and put the medic out of the fight. It looks like Banny wants to go with his team through the cargo, putting a lot of pressure onto Mookie. Mr.Epic is the first casualty of this new fight, and now Mookie only has to pack his medic. Maybe try to stack heals and get a nice frag. Silente is going really aggressive, but gets completely denied by Fonz, and Ubers is shutting down Ali onto the cargo. That should be a reset onto the cargo for SVIFT now. That was a nice attempt. They tried to go to the heavy off guard, because of course when you have a heavy you're way slower, so it's really harder to set up. But nice response from Lowpander, and now the Ubers are the same. Ban is going really forward onto Crane, gets 1 rocket to launch in the air, but Fonz pistols him down, and now maybe it's going to be Uber's turn, who is running the banners to make something happen.
Yeah, that banner is ready, and I actually like the way they use this heavy at this mid fight, because they know SVIFT likes to play aggressive once they take the mid, and having that defensive heavy allowed to slow things down, and Mookie was able to stop all the aggression in front of the cargo area with that minigun revved up, taking damage on top of Salentes and Banny. So Mookie was on the spy, took down the Demoman Alley, and he's making his way around the slope onto the midpoint. They know he's there, but Ubers is pressuring from the cargo area. He does have the battalions back up, ready to fire, and they're going to be pushing this Uber and Raptor, rushing forward with Banny, but Banny decides to back off, and Mookie is finally getting taken down before he can get that spy stab off. And now they're exchanging pleasantries in this cargo room, but they can't make a decision here. They've just decided to back off, reset. Mookie was in a good position there, but Salentes is moving in from the mid staircase. Could be going for a play here.
It looks like Banny do the fake push, so maybe to bait Mookie into going to the backstab, and in the end he got denied. Banny is jumping in once again.
Oh, the big air shot!
1 rocket to Crayon, no 2 rocket. The heal trap, Ale with a nice sticky trap. The Uber has been used to Crayon, but 3 players are down from SVIFT. It's going to be a really hard fight for them to take on if they decide to use the Uber. But look at this, Raptor is just falling down when Samsey and Ast and Mookie dies, but that should be maybe a mid for Lowpander if they decide to cap or camp. But there's only 1 squad on the cap, and Samsey and Raptor are going back into the fight from bottom right. They're maybe going to try to use the Uber of this. The cap time is over now, and the Raptor is going with a nice sticky trap from Ildred, just slowing down the push from SVIFT.
Yeah, but SVIFT have managed to take re-control of this area and moving into the main. We do see Banny's getting eyes on the players, but he's getting chipped away.
Oh, nice rocket from Banny onto Ubers. He doesn't get the frag, but that was a nice shot from the American soldier.
Oh, Raptor very low on health now, trying to arrow his teammate. Does manage to pick up onto Banny, getting healed up right away. They're capping the point off, but going back because there's a back cap at the midpoint. They're going to be stopping it. Samsey is on the bridge, able to take down mr.epic. Hildreth is all the way at last, though, because now it looks like SVIFT are going to be able to take the second, despite this aggression from the back cap. But Raptor did force his Uber off.
But everyone is dead onto the Lowpander side. Crayon is now up with Fonz. It's only a respawner, and maybe knowing the Banny aggressive playstyle there, SVIFT will want to try to take this fight onto mid before the respawner come in time, maybe. But looks like no, they're happy actually to wait. Maybe they just realized that the spawn will be there on time, and it was kind of foolish to jump into this fight. So now they're gonna arrow build the Uber with Ali, trying to work on that Uber advantage. Raptor has like 20 ads, so maybe actually that won't be enough, and we can't expect Ali to do his really clever double bomb onto Crayon.
Players are getting positioned. Banny now jumping into the pillar, getting a little bit of a skip off of that, getting onto the point now. He's putting so much pressure, and the trap is going to go down. Ali taking down the mr.epic scout. They're rotating around and getting frags, but Funds is retaliating, taking down Ast, and Raptor actually got killed by Hildreth at the end of that exchange. And Hildreth is also going to pick up Salentes, who was getting behind. It's a rush from Samsey, but it gets taken down by Hildreth. 5 kills in that defense, and Ali is setting up a trap. He has had time to respawn despite being the first death in that exchange.
Yeah, SVIFT got kind of caught off guard. They thought they were arrow building. They thought they had the Uber up, but the thing is, Mookie was arrow building as well, so Uber was the same. Ali gets mr.epic down with a nice sticky trap, and now it's going to be really difficult for Lowpander to hold this point. They're falling down right now, but Mookie is dead. And Crayon dies to for Banny, and maybe SVIFT will go trying to go into the last. Silentes jump from top left, gets another frag, and only Ildreth and Ferns are alive. Will there be enough? Ildreth dies, it's only Ferns, and that will be the first one in favor of SVIFT out of the very nice aggression from Banny.
That aggression for Benny was absolutely key. It pulled so many players back and allowed the rest of the team to follow suit. And as a result, Swift are going to be taking the first round in Reckoner. I think it's a pause.
Easy.
It is
Yeah,
indeed
it
a
looks
pause.
like we have time to think about what happened. There were many things happened there. Swift was euro building, which is not every team does it now, but it's really good, so they should do it. But Lowpander, being the third seed of the LAN, they do it as well. And I don't know who's going. I assume Raptor is going to the Uber. He thought he had the Uber ads, and I think he got a bit surprised there that the other team had the Uber as well. So now they will be aware of that. They will know that the other team is also arrow building, so that might as well like slow the pace of the game. We'll see, but like each of these teams, they kind of know what to expect now. Like 5 minutes were enough to kind of know what the other team game plan is. They know they're building. They know they have a heavy, and I'm expecting. Like Swift has so many really good players with really good read in the game. I'm pretty sure they're going to adapt really well to the situation. And it's going to be that now Lowpander is in back foot. I know they don't really like it. They like to be in charge of the game and to dictate the flow of the game. So it's going to be interesting to see if they want to try with something maybe a bit more aggressive.
Yeah.
If Muki too heavy doesn't work, they will have to change it. Like one mid isn't enough to judge, but they know how to react as well, and it's going to be interesting to see what Muki decides to do on the next few mids.
Yeah, that spy play was really crucial. I was missing it the entire time. I noticed he went back off the heavy class, but I didn't see what he came back up as. And that spy play opened the door for killing Ali. We do see now the pause has ended, so we should be getting back to the server. The players are giving their 15-second talk in the pregame. Really nice to see that, having that little extra moment of breath to decide what you're going to be doing into the next round. Demos are now getting primed and ready, going for their jumps, getting there roughly the same time. Looks so far very good. Ali opting once again to go for that slope rollout, while Hildreth's going to be going in through the left side, out through cargo, getting eyes onto the slope, and that's going to open up the door for a lot of opportunities as the bomb comes in from Ubers, getting up top. The heavy is in play, and he's going to be firing away as much as he can, trying to get so much damage off on the players. They're backing off because they cannot handle this aggression, but Banny is going to be able to get in there, take down Funds. Hildreth also went down. Samsy going to take down Mookie. Banny is going to get Cran, and with Cran down, it's all just Mr. Epic going to get cleaned up finally by Banny. Nice little 3K at that mid.
What a job from Silentis and Banny. Like both of the soldiers were really good on this bit, but we also should mention Ubers, who couldn't, like, he wasn't getting shut down by anyone, and he couldn't jump into Raptor, so he got the salvation frag for Lowpander. Now the Ubers are going to be the same, and Lowpander actually has a decent shot at holding the last point for quite a good time. Raptors already has 20 ad. It's good. Like, are they going to build again, and will Lowpander do the same? Funds is on the engineer, so they're going to build a level 3 sentry gun. This is going to be really hard for Swift to push, even though they have a small ad at the moment. And yeah, look, like the ad is growing larger second after second. It's going to be a really good push for Swift if they manage to take down the sentry in time.
Yeah, that sentry is going to be hiding in good places. Banny working his way to the right side, spots Mookie, going to juggle him up with some rockets, while the rest of the team push out left with the Uber. The Uber is pistoling down Ubers, who's finally going to get taken down. Banny following up on the right side. He's going to be trying to collapse onto the medic coming out of the spawn. Mookie takes so much damage, and Ali is also throwing in the wrench in the plans. That was a very clean push. They pushed the players into the spawn, they rotated out, and Banny was right there with a response, followed closely by Ali to lock out that position.
Really good. I'm a bit surprised that Lowpander didn't arrow build, because they know Swift does it, so they got caught off guard there, and it's kind of a mistake they shouldn't have done there, but now it's 2-0, and yeah, it looks like Swift really know how to handle the situation. Again, this is really... The stakes are so high now. They don't want to do any mistake, and it looks like Swift is really on point so far.
They're still running heavy as Mookie to mid, or heavy as Mookie. Mookie as heavy to mid. So we're going to be seeing if this is going to have more of an impact. It's the third round they're doing this, and over here in the mid fight we do see Hildreth sitting on top of the shack very comfortably, getting eyes on the players in the crate. We do see a quick double bomb from Silentes trying to get onto the demo man. Funds is going to take a lot of damage, but Ubers is going to get the kill onto Silentes in the end. Banny is now close under the crate. He's going to be going for a bomb as soon as he gets those reloading rockets. Takes the air, jumps in on Mookie. Mookie is going to get collapsed by Ali, and now it's aggression from Mr. Epic trying to work his way around the point. He is coming back in. He spots out the soldier, getting some shots in there. Juggling. Banny is going to take so much damage. Pipe from the alley is going to take him down. Banny is going to crater to his death. And Ast going to clean up onto Mr. Funds. Ubers is backing out, and Hildreth is cleaned up.
And that's, I think that's the third mid in a row in favor of Swift. Like, they don't care about the heavy. Mookie has been shut down by by Vanny in such a really aggressive fashion. I don't think he has any impact on the mid so far, and he ought to try something new maybe on the next mid if Lowpander wants to get back in this game. But yeah, really dominant middle from Swift. Once again, the Raptor didn't die, so it's another Uber ad for Swift, and if they go quickly to the last point, maybe they gotta try something. But this time, Lowpander isn't doing the same mistake. They're building with Ubers on the left side, and maybe if they hold this well enough, they will get the Uber in time.
Ali now getting into position here through the left side. Silentes wrapping himself around through the main. The Uber is forced off. They're focusing on the players. Now the sentry is still just alive. Finally gets taken down. The players have rotated to the left side, and Hildreth has eyes on the players. He's moving his way in through main. He sees the soldier jumping behind onto his medic. Banny takes down Cran, and now there are no heals on the side of Lowpander. And a big pipe is going to juggle funds off into the air. Raptor trying to get some heals on Samsi, but Samsi finally gets taken down by Ubers. A 1-for-1 exchange there. A nice pipe from Ali is going to take down Mr. Epic. It's just Fun's alive. He's rotating to the left side. He's trying to get eyes onto Ali. He's so healthy though, and a pipe is going to take him down. Ali!
Amazing! What a play from the Swedish Demomon. He was alone with Raptor versus 2 scouts, and he managed to take them down with pipes. Not only stickies, like with steel, with some style too. So what a version. Crayon seems like he's not really into the game right now. He dropped to 2 rockets from Banny, and that could have been avoided if he had used the Uber. So, or maybe Banny just was completely amazing once again. Like he seems to really have a good match so far, and it's already 3-0 in favor of Swift in only 9 minutes. I don't think I didn't see that coming.
Very good response from Swift, taking control of this map right away. They've talked about their issues in the past. They've had plenty of time to get into it, and now they're on top of things. As you see, Hildreth is working his way to the right side, going to get eyes on the Demo Man any second now, cutting off the entryway and throwing some spam. Quick bomb from both the soldiers is going to come in, but a response bomb from both the soldiers on the side of Lowpander is going to be pressuring. Uber's now getting some shots onto the players on the slope. He's pulling players back, and a follow-up bomb finally from Mookie is going to get onto Ali, and Ubers walks forward, takes down Raptor, and a follow-up is going to be so strong. Silentes able to get a couple frags of his own, but Funds is having a good time working his way around. Mookie was on Soldier for this mid, and we do see Silentes is going to be able to pick up on his Funds and just barely escape with his life.
Well, that was better. That was some good reaction from Lowpander. They realized the heavy wasn't working at all, so they went with the double bombing soldier. Silentes trying maybe to make something happen onto the mid, but he's gonna fall back. And Lowpander takes its first mid of the map. I think this double bomb is better because it allows Mr. Epic and Funds to be way more aggressive, and these are fraggers, so they like to do that. But Ali, look at this. The second middle is happening right now, but another double bomb from Mookie and Ubers. Ali gets down, and Crayon dies to a cotton drop from Silentes. This could be crucial pick for Swift if they manage to get the remaining frag, but Hildreth and Funds don't agree with that, and Raptor is on his own with Samsi onto the green area.
Raptor going to get taken down by Mr. Epic. Hildreth is so low on health, and Mr. Epic is going to save him. They're going to finish off this cap and have the medic, the heal advantage, because Cran has spawned on Kritzkrieg.
So it's as if Lowpander won 2 mid in 1 round. Like,
basically.
Yeah, there were 2 fights on this mid, and both of them were won because of Mookie and Uber's double bombing onto the Swift combo. And now you mentioned it, the crit is building its way up to Crayon's hand, and with the As is on NG, so that could shut down the Kritzkrieg, but I like the initiative from Lowpander.
Players are expecting maybe a small Uber advantage, and so they're going to be arrow building their way up. Raptor trying to get this advantage in time, but Hildreth is already peeking his way in through the left side. He sees the player. He's calling for the charge at any moment now. The charge is ready. Kritzkrieg is ready to be popped. He shoots the rock. It's thinking it connects onto Raptor, and he's going to be following, trying to get as many shots as he can. He sees the sentry. Going to be able to take down Samsi, the engineer, and now the gun is getting spammed down. Finally get taken down. It is just the Demo Man alive on the side of Ali. He's making his way to the point, spamming it, but finally gets piped by Hildreth. What a great last push from Hildreth, essentially getting all those kills.
Yeah, it was like when you play crits, the first tick is so important because the element of surprise is all in there, and he completely sniped Raptor from across the last point. So that was a really great sticky from Hildreth, and again the risk and initiative paid off for Lowpander. So I'm really glad to see them coming back into this game really quickly, because they don't let doubt taking over, and it's really important that you don't crumble and you stay strong in your head.
Once again, we're reaching another pause. I'm not sure if it's any server issues particularly. They call for a pause. That was the side of Lowpander requesting a pause, and it seems to be a strategy period. This is a tactical pause according to the chat.
Oh, that's possible. And so it was called by Lowpander, even though they won that that last round. So maybe they just yeah, they just want to discuss how it worked and maybe what new they can do on the mid. Looks like maybe Ubers and Muki are going to do the same. I like the aggression, and I think it's one way to counter Swift overly aggressive soldiers. So it's really feeling like the brains are at work as much as the mechanics there, and these players they are actually thinking about how to win the game. It's not only about aiming better than the other team. It's about how to play the game in a better way.
Exactly. You got to be when you're playing in a competitive scene. It's important to think about the short term. Focus on this round. Don't be saying things like, "Oh, we should have won that. We can't lose to these guys." No, you need to be thinking about every single moment as if it's your life on the line, because that's what gives you a good edge as far as doing your best in every single moment. That round they lost, Swift should just brush it off and just think about the new mid.
Yeah,
They're ready for a double soldier play instead of the heavy, and now we do see the pause has finally ended. Players are still in their brief little strategy period, those 15 seconds. And Ombrack, tell me, do you think this mid is going to go in favor of Lowpander once again?
Yeah, I want it to go this way. I want to have a really close map, and we saw Swift struggling on this map in the past. So 3-0 for them. Maybe that's not enough to take the map, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Lowpander coming back.
They're actually running crit screen to Mig here, so this could be a factor going into this mid fight. As we do see aggression from Bandit getting onto the crate right away, getting shot in the air by Ubers. Very good shot there, but unfortunately, Swift is getting all the frags in their favor. Cran is going to have to back off here. He does not have the crit screen yet, and it's just Mr.Epic alive, so they're going to be opting to get out of here. They're not going to be able to have a crit screen play exactly, but they might have to force it here because Mr.Epic has been split apart. He's going to crater, and now Cran is all the way on last with crit screen. He's going to get out alive, but they have a defensive Kritzkrieg in their hands.
Really nice aggression from Swift. You can't die to crits if the medic doesn't have the crits, because he hasn't charged it. So now the crits is ready in the hands of Crayon, but oh, what a Muki! Gets wrapped up with the crits and then found with a skeleton shot onto Bunny, and Samsi dies as well to Muki. That's a Roman crit right there, and Funds with a clean up frags. What a crit from Lowpander!
Raptor was not expecting that whatsoever, and he drops. As a result, they're going to get the cap on the second. Funds cleaning up the last player. It's a full wipe. With a few respawns, of course. Mookie and Hildreth are going to be respawning now, but they look like they want to take mid because the spawn waves are so scattered right now.
Yeah, they're going for it. Really nice. Decided to take the crits to Swift instead of waiting onto onto the last and maybe baiting about Uber. So it's really nice aggression. And once again from Lowpander, looks like the aggression is paying off. And talking about aggression, look at Bani. He jumped onto the bot, gets Crayon with 3 rockets, and Samsi gets Hildreth as well. So no combo player from Lowpander whatsoever. Only Ubers is alive. Muki kind of jumping onto Raptor, but the Austrian medic surfs away, and it's pretty healthy now. Fun's trying to get for a frag as well, but to no avail. And wow, this is really these players are really showing strong TM abilities right now.
Yeah, they will be getting these forward spawns because they did cap the point. So they will actually potentially get another spawn wave. They will just have one player short, so they will have some kind of defensive lineup. They're still opting to go for this Kritzkrieg. They think they can defend without an Uber because they're not going to get the Uber in time. Once the Uber gets forced off, they'll have a huge crits advantage, and maybe Raptor won't be expecting crits at all.
Well, he didn't the first time, but now Raptor has the Uber, so I wouldn't... Maybe they're gonna try to take it. Ubers is not, he hasn't been spotted, but the other thing, Muki is jumping onto Raptor. Raptor straps away so far back, and he craters entirely. He drops the Uber. What was that play from Raptor? Muki, amazing jump to force the medic, and more than a force, he gets a frag. And now the situation completely flips in favor of Lowpander. As dies, and Samsi in the backline helped with Silentes. Crayon is dead, and the interest as well. It's only mr.epic now. He's on his own versus 2 players. Samsi is really weak. Will the German scout die? mr.epic is trying to get the frag, but can't. Eventually, Samsi is hiding behind the rock. Muki gets a clean up frag, and now Silentes dies as well. What is this fight? And what a play from Muki onto Raptor with who decided to just fly away and not popping. That was a kind of a questionable play.
Maybe he thought he could get the roll on the damage, the fall damage, because it is actually not guaranteed. If you can fall from the same height and take different damage, maybe he thought he had enough health to survive that crater, didn't want to pop it. And that's going to cost them the push, but at the end of the day, they still picked off Cran, so the Ubers are still in their favor just by about 10%. Raptor, what are they going to be opting to go for here? Because we're seeing our first technical stalemate as both players have even Ubers.
Well, Ubers are the same, and I assume it's time maybe for Swift to slow down the game, because it's going to be really hard to speed up the process now, even if you were on Reckoner. I don't see them trying to force something, but Bunny, look at him. As I'm saying, that Uber has been used under really deep onto Bunny. Maybe they thought they had Uber up because they went really deep, and now Ali is caught in the backline getting trading with Ubers, and the Ubers have been traded, and now it's up to maybe Lowpander to push, because 2 players from the combo of Swift have been shut down by Lowpander.
Yeah, the rest of Swift are sitting on the bridge as a bomb from Solentis is going to come in, try and cause something. He does manage to pick up Mookie at that exchange. Hildreth is spamming out pipes onto the bridge. Nobody's going to be able to make any use of this, though. They're finally rotating to take control of this midpoint. Hildreth has jumped all the way into the cargo room, throwing a sticky at the Banny. And Ali is trying to get some spam here because it's actually a really good angle to get some coordinated rollers onto this point. But they will be able to get the cap off, and Ubers are still even because Raptor did not die in that exchange.
And I can't say it's going to be another stalemate because this team, they're always looking forward. Ubers want to jump onto Ali, gets the frag onto the Demo Man, and now Ultra through the follow-up damage onto everyone else. Banny up in the air is going to get cleaned up. No, the Uber has been used by Raptor, and now Crayon is taking a comfortable Uber ad. He's using Ast is the first casualty of the Lowpander Uber. Fund is trying to go forward, trying maybe to get some cleaner frag, but in the end he can't get anyone. And look at Swift, they're not... They don't know fear. Banny is under. He's going to maybe jump onto the bomb trying to get Crayon, but he gets completely shut up by Fonz, and Banny dies. And Fonz as well dies in the process, but they never stop. They never rest.
Hildreth didn't get taken down there. Very low on health. Ass is going to be initiating onto Ubers, but Ubers is going to be able to get out into the cargo room while the rest of Swift have their small Uber advantage working their way through the slope. They do see Mookie is on top of them. He's going to jump out instead of trying to get a little bit of damage there. Wait for the health pack before he can come back in here. Swift trying to take control of this mid, but actually it seems Lowpander aren't going to be contesting it. They're backing out, not opting to go for anything here because somehow they've read the Uber disadvantage.
Did they? Because look at how aggressive they are in Chicago. Uber has been used into Raptor once again, but Mookie dies, but that's not from the Uber, and now Crayon almost has his own, and Banny is going again really deep. Everyone on the flank of Lowpander is dead, and Silentis with the follow-up spam onto Ilbert. Crayon doesn't want to use, but will he be forced eventually? It looks like he's trying to get it maybe for last. He's so weak, and he finally gets forced by Samzy. Nice play from the scout. And now this is not a really good Uber from Lowpander, and the spawners are going to get in time soon from for Swift.
Yeah, currently it's just Hildreth at the mid-fight. Finally, Mr. Epic is going to join the fray. Mookie is flanking from the right side, getting a bomb in to pressure the players out of the point. We do see Lowpander are going to be able to try and get some cap time on this, maybe finish it off because Swift aren't really in a position to push. They're just setting up for a defensive hold on second. They do have a small advantage, and I don't know if they've read that. They did know that Crayon popped a little bit later, but he has been building pretty well. Only an 8-second difference.
All these teams actually EU. They're playing so aggressively. We've never like it's been a while since we've seen some that face-based TF2. So it's really interesting to see how well it worked and how entertaining it is. Samzy is on the sniper, and that might slow the process a bit. Yeah, Banny and Ali are playing quite conservatively around the truck, and now they know it's up to Lowpander to make something happen.
Lowpander currently in the driver's seat. They are down 2 rounds at the 11-minute mark. So there are 11 minutes to get 2 rounds to bring it to Golden Cap, or 3 rounds to take it all. Lowpander trying to get in position. Hildreth playing on the main lobby area. That staircase over there. Mookie is going to get taken down trying to go for a play from the lower underpass. And that's going to prompt a response from Swift.
Maybe that was a sack from Mookie so he can try to do enough classes. But again, Swift for a second seemed restless and wanted to push forward. But in the end, they're not going. Samzy switched after Sniper is back on scout now, so maybe there's something gonna happen for some aggressive play from Swift. Mookie is on spy, but I assume he's just checking for off classes. And no, he's actually getting out of the spawn, and maybe we have some French espionage coming out on our way.
Actually, Samzy felt the calling of the spy, and so he went to spawn to check himself out, see if there's any loadouts on the screen, and he does confirm that Mookie is on spy, so they're going to be fully aware of this. And that's going to be at the fault of Mookie because now he's trying to get in position, but it's just going to be wasting time. And the rest of their team can push forward, try and bait out a response from Mookie to decloak, and then they turn around and instantly pin him down.
Yeah, I don't think Mookie expects Swift to be aware of his presence. No, Rocket has been spammed in his direction, so maybe he knows that Danny is trying to get hiding underpass, maybe trying to get someone off guard. And it's now up to Mookie to make something happen. Maybe if you can't get Raptor here, maybe the pick is to get Ali and unlock the situations for his team so they can get forward.
He does decloak.
He hasn't been spotted by Raptor. Can he get the no? Raptor turns around and can't get the frag. Ubers dies in the process, trying to make some kind of distraction, I assume. And now 2 players are down in Lowpander, and Swift should try to push it.
but Hildreth has eyes on all the entry points. He spots Raptor and he's going to spam it on with some stickies, but Raptor is not going to take too much damage. Going to hold on to it for just a moment longer. Banny going to get popped on the Uber now. Moving over to the bridge. Cran is very low. He's going to try and deny this escape. Cran gets taken down by Banny, and a follow-up bomb is going to be able to be coming from Silentes, but Hildreth gets the better of that. Hildreth now getting some spam onto Ali, the Demo Man running in through the underpass. No other pressure coming from there. Over on the cargo, we do see Ast running in. He does spot out Hildreth. One scattergun assault is going to take. Finally cleans that up, but Banny and Ali get taken down as a result, and it's just Raptor at the cargo healing up his teammates.
Muki is under. He hasn't been spotted by neither of Swift players, so
Raptor's all alone.
He's going green. He hasn't been spotted yet. Maybe he's going to jump. He's going in, but Ast is there, maybe shutting down the... Yeah, the Finnish soldier and Indian Raptors is kind of healthy, and this is a 20% ad Uber. Oh, look at Crayon. He's running the crit streak.
Once again, running that crit streak. There is actually a small chance if they build fast enough, they could get the crit streak before Raptor gets his Uber, but they're not even going to be getting in position. Maybe they think they have an Uber ad and will be pushing right away. So once again, there could be a play where the crit streak will come in and pop it before Raptor realizes it's been used.
But this time, it doesn't look like Lowpander want to take this aggressively. Mr.Epic is on the sniper on the right, or maybe trying to get a drop, or maybe it looks like he wants to get Ali in case the demo man will be double jumping. Look at where he's aiming for. He's looking at the main side, and everyone in Swift is standing outside of the lobby. Only Silentes is a bit forward trying to get some spam going for his logs, and is Ali gonna try it? Yeah, is he? Oh, he gets body shot in the air by Mr.Epic, just as planned.
And that's going to open the door for this crits push out. We do see Silentes trying to make his way into the lobby, but gets cleaned off by Ubers. The crit screen has been popped off, and it's going to force out the Uber from Raptor, who's going to be responding with Bandy, but Bandy takes so much damage, he gets cleaned up, and he craters to his death before he can get flashed by Raptor. And now the Uber has faded. The crit advantage is coming in their way. Ast taking a lot of damage here. Ali just now getting to the spawn. He's going to be taking some spam, and a follow-up from Mr. Epic is pistoling down the players in the underpass. But the players of Swift are going to be backing out, and now the crit streak advantage is building very steadily. They will be making their way to the midpoint here very shortly.
Silentes, look at him, he's untoxic, and again, no one was watching the flank from Lowpander. He's gonna get behind Crayon anytime soon. Gets one to run, spam rocket onto Crayon, but now he's been spotted, and Uhtred in the meantime gets the other soldier. Crayon dies, some nice pipe from Ali, and Raptor dies as well to aggression from Mickey. What's going on? Everyone is dying on both teams, and now no one in Swift looks really healthy, and as I said, Uhtred is a new casualty.
Ast, the last player alive on the point. Ali making his way on top of the bridge. A bomb from Mookie is going to put a little bit of pressure on, but Ali has so much health, it's not going to work. One more rocket is all it takes. Finally, nice little pipe from the underpass of the bridge to take down Mookie. Ali doing a very good job there, coming back out of that mid-aggression from Lowpander.
And Lowpander trying once again with the crits. They really want to make some aggression going. They want to gain the momentum there, but talking about momentum, look at Banny doing some kind of poke onto the house. To green, he gets funds, but he trades with Ubers, and Mr.Epic gets a strike as well, so maybe this is time for Swift to back up. But Crayon in the backline trying to get Crayon, gets the medic half HP, and get Mr.Epic in the process.
Silentes, though, got a nice little shot. Trying to make his way in, gets taken down. Ali now coming forward. Going to be able to get Hildreth as well. Mookie, the last player alive, trying to make his way to the cargo, but gets pistoled down by Ast, and that's going to be a cap for Swift onto second. Funds is making his way, peeking his way through, but he doesn't have any support to make any initiation here. It's just going to be a defensive hold. While Raptor has that huge advantage with only 6 minutes left in this round, I think Swift are going to take another round in their books.
Oh yeah, this is looking really, really dire when you look under now. Funds, no, Mr.Epic is trying. Funds is building a sentry on the right side, maybe to deny any kind of aggression that could come from the top left area. And Mickey's on spy, he's just checking for classes maybe, or looks like he wants to go out of the door, but it doesn't look like he will get there in time. The Uber has been used on main on Tubani and Raptor. Uber is taking a lot of damage, rotating the sentry has been taken down by Silentes, and now it's all about point pressure. The stick is on it, but look at us, just standing on the edge, putting some cap time. Mickey dies, so just no demo man. The medics are trading both teams, and now 2v3 in favor of Lowpander.
Very good defensive hold there. Ali, the last player alive, putting some stickies on the shutter area. Gonna get rushed by Mr. Funds, or Mr. Epic, excuse me, making his way around. He does spot him. Ali trying to throw some pipes, is not gonna be able to connect any of those. He's getting so much damage. Gonna be backing out just in time. So low! Finally stays alive. Mr. Epic gonna get cleaned up, overextending for that frag. And the cap might have to go off because Samsi is on the point, pressuring so much. Ast also working his way over to the shutter, wrapping around through the lobby. He does spot out some players. The follow-up aggression from the soldier, I believe that was Silentes, making his way in the left side, was able to push the Bears back, and now they're going to be making their second attempt into this last.
This is dry push. They don't have the Uber yet, and Crayon has 80% of crits, and they might be able to surprise Swift with a nice sticky. But look at Ali, Swift caping on the right door. Is going to deny everyone on this area. Point pressure from Mas and Samsi. Jules are going on with some heals. This is some MG time. It's finally no use to make frag. Just stay on point and cap it.
Very good job from Swift there to close out the round with that dry push. A lot of time to work with there to try and make their way in. They did take full advantage of it, and now we're seeing pretty much the end of this match. I don't think it's even possible, remotely possible, to get 3 rounds in 4.5 minutes.
Yeah, I don't think it's possible as well. It was interesting to see that Lowpander decided to stick with the crits no matter what. They really wanted to do some aggression, but somehow, with our Uber, like Bani led his team with such a fierce aggression. That was really impressive to watch. He jumped all the time, all over the place, and this is like the 5th mid of it. Ali is there faster than everyone else, getting some double bomb from Ubers, and Mickey trying to go for Raptor, but Raptor straight away and scattered, but finally Funds clean up the frag onto the melee. Woo! Silentus, now air shot onto Ildrith, and that should be it. Or, unless the frags, everyone is weak on Swift, and only Bani is happy. Everyone is jumping in, and Crayon only 30 HP. He almost died there.
That's a full wipe for Swift. This could be a comeback potentially mounted by Lowpander, as they do get a very huge advantage here, but they're on the Kritzkrieg going into this second point. They will be able to get the second point almost uncontested. We do see a little bit of pressure coming in from Silentes. He's going to get juggled and potentially get lost. He's going in for the bomb, trying to get on Cran, but Cran is all the way at the underpass. Wrapping from the underpass is now Silentes, who is on the mid. He's going to catch out Hildreth here, juggle him into the air, take him down very nicely. Following up onto the scout, one more shot can take him down. Silentes is in the backline and slowing these players down. And we do see Banny getting onto Ubers also as well. The Crits has been flossed.
Yeah, Crits has been used. It's a really, really terrible Uber, because maybe they were expecting it. In any case, Crayon dies right as he uses it, and now only Idrith alive is just going to stick in mid and not going to come into second point. And even though you're Lowpander, you can come back there. I think it's important to try to build some momentum for the next map, but it looks like Banny and his teammate, they don't want to let that happen.
Now Switch is going to be retaking this point. They want to make sure that there is no aggression. There is a hiding player in the underpass. That is, I believe, Mookie, who is making his way over to the second. No, I've tried to make his way in. It was Hildreth who was behind. My mistake. Hildreth got taken down in the back lines, and now with no demo man, it's going to be very hard to defend the second point, but they do have Funds on Sniper in the forward spawn.
Yeah, maybe Funds wants to get a feeling for the next map. Again, I think it's all about next map now. They can't come back on this one, but Banny and Silentes and all their teammates, they're ruthless. They don't let any room to work with for Lowpander, and they're getting so aggression, so much aggressive. Like Uber, crits has been used, Raptor dies, Ali dies, and Banny as well. Nice crits from Ubers, and maybe that's some salvation for Lowpander there, if they can get any more frags and take the second point back.
Very nice wipe, a complete ace. All the players are alive on the side of Lowpander, and Swift is just now respawning. There's a minute and 30 left on this map. Will they be able to at least take this round to get themselves a little bit of a dignity back? We do see Krantz still on that Kritzkrieg, trying to play that defensive Uber. We don't have Uber in time, so we might as well go for the Kritzkrieg and have a steamroll with getting our Kritzkriegs before they get their Ubers. You see he's filling it up. Mookie working his way in through the right side. He's going to call out all the players while the rest of them work through the cargo, but Ali's going to get a trap onto Mookie, and that's going to slow down the damage aggression. A nice little juggle into the air. Can he get the air shot? Yes, Ubers takes down Ass. And he's going to get cleaned up by Ali, and there's so many frags in favor of Swift. Rather trying to go for the saw onto Hildreth, but Hildreth is going to die, and that's a counter wipe. And they're going to be recapping mid. This is the end of the round, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, we've seen 2 full team wipe in 30 seconds. One for Swift and one for Lowpander. Yeah, only 1 minute left. This should be it. I'm only expecting Banny maybe to try to go for the capping that last round. And Mookie is in forward. I got 1 rocket onto Raptor there. Doesn't die. And Banny is so aggressive. The crits has been used, or no? It was like escape plan. My apologies.
All right, we're going to be seeing this final push of this round. Can Swift cap it off with a 5-round lead? They're getting onto the point, but there's so many stickies. I think those are Scottish resistant stickies. There's so many of them. Yeah, he's running the Scottish Resistance, and it's going to be Hildreth playing on the right side, getting some spam pipes, while the rest of the players are falling down. Ast is trying to peek his way onto the point. Hildreth trying to get eyes on it. He does pop the Scottish Resistance, and he's going to get cleaned up here very shortly by Solentes. He throws a pipe, takes down Samsey, but finally goes down. It's Mr.epic alive, but no, Solentes is able to get that frag, and 8 seconds left on the clock. That's the round. 5-1 Swift take Reckoner.
I think we've just witnessed the first Scottish Resistance skill at an iSeries.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Breaking records here at I-61. We do
Lowpander breaking the rules once again.
You can keep your statistics. I prefer the magic of the Scottish Resistance.
Me too.
So very good job there. I think we're going to be handing it over to our analyst to talk about the Reckoner match, all the stats we have lined up. So that's the end of the round. Ladies and gentlemen, get a whale, news. No, not quite yet. I'm sorry. I'm baiting you guys. So, Swift take the first round, the first map.
Strong
How do you
try.
think? How do you think the response is going to be from Lowpander going into, I believe, Goalie Wash?
Well, there was their map, right? Was it?
Yes, the second map was picked by
Swift.
Goalie Wash. No, Goalie Wash was.
Oh, Goalie Wash was.
It should have been Lowpander. I think.
Lowpander. Okay. I don't know. It looks. They have to react, obviously, and what I like is they went 3 down really quickly and 3-0 down really quickly, and they tried some aggression, but it looks like as if Swift was ready for that aggression, for that crate, for the jumpers all the time, and the answer to aggression was extra aggression. Like they jumped all the time. I think Silentes and Banny have spent more time in the air than walking the floor, so that just speaks for itself. And Ubers and mr.epic and Funds didn't look like they could answer these jumps, and they couldn't deny the soldiers. So maybe it's all about like DM and be on point. Maybe that's just that. And what is impressive is it's the first time Swift is playing versus like an actual strong. Like they played versus Ascent, but I think Lowpander is a step ahead of Ascent in terms of raw DM and skill. And they could have been surprised by playing the first really strong team of the tournament, but it's no big deal for them.
Yeah. Lowpander did take down Ascent, who we're calling the Reckoner Lords, apparently, because of how well they do on that map. But Lowpander did manage to squeak out a victory against them, so they are certainly more of a match for Team Swift. But Team Swift now have made their adjustments. 5-1, nothing like what we had when they were first facing Ascent. So now finally we have our analysts ready. We have logs. We have all this good stuff coming from news and
Reckoner in quite a stalemate fashion. It's quite a slow map. That's how it's been played in Europe for how many seasons now? I don't even know. But Swift were making some really aggressive pushes. They were favoring a lot of just almost dry pushes in even situations. I think maybe off of the back of the fact that they believe they have stronger DM, and that does make the difference in even situations. And there was just so many times where it felt like Lowpander were getting caught off guard. I don't know if you...
It was part of what you mentioned as the game was going on. This constant... It isn't so much constant aggression, but constant pressure. It isn't like Swift is constantly pushing, but they're constantly looking to see what's happening, getting info, kind of seeing what's going on, and it doesn't allow Lowpander to get set up in a situation where they could make one of their kind of classic kind of plays to like create themselves an advantage.
You're trying to keep them off balance, basically.
Exactly. That's it. Every time Lowpander try and get themselves set up, Swift is like, we're going to walk a guy through the flank. We're going to, peek further here. We're going to, deal a bunch of damage. You have to back up. You have to reset yourselves. And that kind of constantly putting them off balance and kind of keeping Swift in the driving seat allowed them to, just kind of keep control.
Yeah. I think we can maybe pull up some logs. I don't know if we have logs there, production, maybe in a minute. We can We'll see them soon.
Yeah.
We'll see them
We
soon.
can imagine them in the meantime. Some interesting plays and things that happened there. One thing that I noticed, it was around the middle of that, but can we talk about the defensive crits on last?
Yeah.
It was an interesting thing because we saw it used to great effect, but the problem with the defensive crits at last, and I mean it was a perfect pop, but once Swift knew that Lowpander had a crits, how can you play that as med? Because Swift are so good and so smart, they know that they have to then just all converge on the medic to take them down, or else they're going to be crit on time and time again. And it's exactly what they did. As soon as they pushed out a last Lowpander, Swift just pounced and took down the medic. It was a great crits, but it was just kind of unfortunate because it's not the greatest situation for a crits, I guess. You know what I mean?
I think
News?
the one crits where I think Hildreth died as they were defending last, so they had to pop it on Mookie, but he ended up dropping Raptor anyway. Again, it comes down to the element of surprise, it feels like, in this map
Yeah.
a lot. They just, I don't think Swift were expecting it. I don't
Not
think
at
they
all.
spy checked at the start of the round, so they didn't notice.
Right.
Because it was straight after a mid-fight, because Swift
Right.
rolled them in, but Crane's
And
arrived.
we saw that yesterday. Remember that
Yeah.
Swift was kind of complacent and they weren't checking. We talked about going spy at the start of a round to check if there's crits or whatnot, and they didn't do it except against 7. And or maybe it was 7 maybe that was doing it or something like that. But you got to check because Raptor had no idea. We have the log, by the way. We can pull up the logs as we continue. But yeah, I mean, you make a great point that they had no idea, and they could have known.
But see, obviously, like, it didn't really matter too much in the end. Swift
Right.
ended up winning quite comfortably. But
Right.
as News mentioned, the one time it looked like Lowpander were able to get things done, you know, the few instances where they had really achieved something were as a result of Swift being caught off guard from information which they could have.
But also, they couldn't build on it. They couldn't do anything.
Well,
had a great crits defending
exactly.
last, but
Once
you
they-
can't do anything. You're still stuck at last eventually.
That's it. They managed to catch Swift off guard, and then once they knew, it was just, that was kind of more or less it. Like, it just seems that if you're going to try and, I don't know, beat Swift at their own game, you need to be able to consistently surprise them. Like,
think-
because they can adapt quickly enough if you don't kind of, you know, if you can't contest that.
I think in games like this where it's very fast-paced and there's lots of things changing at once, the individuals that have the best read of the game and the best understanding are able to exploit the most nuanced little things. Immediately we were talking about Banny, because time after time he was able to just find these little opportunities and get onto Crayon, or often he was getting 2 or 3 picks at once just
Yeah.
by himself, abusing tiny little spaces in the
How
flank.
good is Banny on Reckoner? Really
Insane.
good. I've been really impressed with all 3 matches I think we've seen of
Yeah.
Swift now. It's been really good, really smartly aggressive. I wanted to call out Uber's name. Uber's was, I got the feeling, and tell me if you agree or disagree, but he was pounding on mids, but his team was nowhere to be found, unfortunately. The mids were all mostly decisively for Swift, but Uber's was pounding.
Yeah. Well, I think you can kind of compare like the 2 top damaging soldiers quite well, really, considering Uber's, he was able to get a lot of work done, but his team wasn't really able to kind of work with him to help him do that. Whereas Banny, he got a lot of stuff done. Obviously, individually, he made a lot of very good plays, but it was as a result of the pressure his team could kind of extend onto them. So
more of a team thing, yeah.
Banny was able to find all these fantastic timings to get onto Koran, to get loads of picks. But that was as a result of Swift, their constant pressure keeping Lowpander on like the back foot,
Yeah.
Obviously, Banny, if he didn't have that team with him, wouldn't have been able to find those situations as much. It would have been much easier to focus. And I feel it was, that's kind of maybe what happened to Ubers. He was able to do a decent amount himself, but without the team to kind of back him.
There was no follow. He would pound and pound, and he'd look back, and all his friends are dead, unfortunately.
Yeah, I did feel that one of the players that maybe suffered from the pressure that Swift were putting on a lot was Mookie, because I think he has seemed to be really flourishing as of late, playing against 7 in Europe or other top European teams.
Yep.
Because it is more predictable of how the game plays out and the flow of it. There's more stuff that I think he's comfortable with exploiting, and when he does it in those circumstances, he does it very well. But I think he was being pressured so much this game, and Silentes was having a much better time on Romer, playing that more fast-paced, aggressive game. Whereas I think Mookie was forced to react to things a lot of the time, and as you were saying, the team's quite disconnected. Not everyone's supporting each other in the same way that Swift just know that they're all going to be aggressive at certain times, and they're all going to be retreating at certain times. And I think that was the real difference maker. It wasn't the complexity of the strategy from Swift, it was just the degree to which they were being really, volatile and changing it back and forth constantly.
Sure.
So unpredictable.
They were efficient.
Yeah.
If you want to put it another way, yeah. Tell you what, in the meantime, we're going to toss it back to the boys at the casting desk. So let's do that. 2 boys at casting desk.
Hello, I'm boy 1. This is boy 2.
Yeah.
My friend Ombrack.
Can I be boy 1, please?
Okay. Ombrack is boy 1. Ro is boy 2.
Yeah.
We have our players in the server. We'll be ready to go live very shortly. They were ready up just a moment ago, but they had a little bit of delay now. Waiting for one player to get into the server. I believe it's Funds, as well as Silentes. Silentes is now in the server. Funds will be joining just in a moment, and then we'll be going live with our goalie wash mid.
Yeah, goalie. So spoiler alerts. Muki's gonna play sniper on mid.
Yes.
Pretty much all the time. This is classic Lowpander strategy on goalie wash. So I'm assuming Bunny will expect it, and we've seen Bunny yesterday versus Ascent. He has that really speed bomb over the point to go to the other team big doors. So maybe that's what he's gonna pull off to try to get Muki down. But yeah, first mid is going to be really interesting. If Reckoner Swift was so aggressive all the time, putting off constant aggression, and I'm gonna expect the same on goalie wash, to be honest, because the mid is so open. There's so many rooms for the soldiers to just fly into the air and get frags. So again, I think it's going to be really hard for Mr.Epic and Funds if they play the same way they did on Reckoner.
Yeah, the scouts need to be playing a lot more passively at the mids, just to wait for those initial bombs, because Silentes and Banny is a very seasoned jumper. He's been jumping since the day TF2 was born. Like, he loves rocket jumping. He can C-tap flawlessly. These are the kind of things that you need to be prepared for and defensive for, because so much can happen when Banny goes for a bomb, and he has land ping and all these other bonuses of, the land setting.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Banny he's such an impact player. We've seen he was top damaging on the previous map, even though it was Reckoner map he's not really familiar with.
Yeah.
And we've always talked about Lanny, how he's always thrives at LAN, and first bracket game and he's already top damaging. He really he's made of something else than us. We're just casters. He's something else. He's like on another planet.
He is essentially ascended to the next level. Ooh. That's what happens when you break 12k hours in TF2.
That's possible, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
new step of evolution for Benny.
Yes, he is that 4th tier in that meme where you've got the big brain, the cosmic brain. He's that 4th tier when it comes to rockets and LAN.
There's a meme on the way, boys, in chat, so you know what your job is now. And I already know what picture we could use, so please read in my mind and do it now.
Players are all on the server. We're waiting for them to ready up here. Goalie Wash is our map. Mookie, like you said, going sniper to mid, playing in the big door.
Yeah.
Scouts on the side of Lowpander need to be playing defensively to deny Banny from getting that skip jump that we saw earlier in the group stages.
That hasn't actually tried, and it worked out for them. I think one of the few meets Ascent won yesterday. Ascent.eu won yesterday was the one where they had a sniper actually, and they were able to deny Banny. So maybe all we've seen was actually nonsense, and maybe the bomb from Banny would be completely useless and we got shut down by the scouts. But I don't know. I think we had such high expectations for Lowpander, and even though they did an okay game, even though they lost, they did an okay game. But I don't know. We all expected Ubers to be completely amazing and Muki to amaze us with outclasses. So I think we're bound to ask a bit more from Lowpander.
Well, the players have readied up. They're getting in the server right now. I actually just heard from production that Cran might have broken his mouse.
Oh, no.
But it looks like he's healing up his players, so it might have been a fake out. Just trying to put on some drama in the land setting. We do see Mookie on that sniper to mid, just like he said. Raptor getting some arrows to his players. We do see Ali seeing the aggression right away. He spots the sniper out, calls it for his team, and Bandy gets taken down. A good defense play from Funds, but Ass is going to retaliate immediately. Silentes and Ali with 2 quick kills. And a 3rd pipe on the Mookie. He's got 1 more on the Ubers, making a 4th. Ali's rotating underneath. He cannot get it because Ass steals it. Ali with a 3K that mid. Very good response to the sniper mid.
So we talked about the Bally bomb on mid, but what we didn't expect was the double bomb over the point from Silentes and Bally, who actually made the same jump one side, like they each took one side of the mid, and that was really impressive because the scouts didn't know what to look at, and now SVIFT is already on the second point and Raptor is sitting on an 80% Uber ad, and maybe they're gonna try to dry push before the Raptor at the Uber. Oh no, they're just gonna wait for that and try to get a clean entry onto the last.
Yeah, Hildreth getting in position underneath the water, but he's going to get some pressure from the soldier working his way there. Silentes is going to go down. Mookie doing a very good job of keeping a defensive push. Now the Uber is forced off. Ast rushing underneath, going to get onto Ubers, and will he not be able to finish that off? The Stickies, he's caught between a rock and a hard place, finally going to get the better of Ubers, and gets onto the point here. Hildreth now spamming behind, trying to get eyes on that. He's looking back and forth, can't decide who to shoot. Gets some Stickies onto Banny, but nobody's even gotten some time on the point. Hildreth's going to get taken down by Ast, who rotated from the other side of the water, and Ali's going to get some stickies onto the point. Banny and Ast are going to cap it off, and that's going to be the first round. Very quick, 1:40 to take the mid and the round.
Yeah, SVIFT just using the momentum gained from the previous map and just walking their way through Lowpander like it was paper. Kind of surprised that Lowpander wasn't able to react properly. Maybe they just need a bit of time, you know, to gain composure again and try to do something better. Mookie is still on the sniper, so maybe I'm assuming something a bit more. I hope for Lowpander that they're not going to crumble completely and they will be able to get back into this game.
That they will. Hildreth is going to go for the big door, which is a very good play to play around your sniper. Hildreth now getting shots while Ubers jumps in very aggressively, getting so much damage onto Ast. Silentes is jumping on top of it, and Banny's actually wrapping around from the banana. He does spot out Cran, going to get a rocket onto him. Jumping over the top, he can't finish it off. He's trying so hard. Finally connects onto Cran before he gets taken down by Hildreth. Hildreth now rotating over to the other side. Mr.Epic is having a frag streak of his own as he works his way towards the lobby, trying to pick up onto Raptor, who is the last player alive. He does spot him out. The arrow flies through, but Mr.Epic thinks better of it because he only has 56 HP. They will be able to take the second potentially, and Mookie is in a position on second to snipe anyone rotating through river.
The aggression from Ubers into the middle was so good. He just completely denied Ali to do any pressure of any kind onto the big door from Lowpander, and then it was only easy for Lowpander to win this mid. It was funny to see Banny, when he jumped, he just landed onto Crayon's head, so it was really easy frag for him, and Mookie gets a body shot onto Banny, and Samsi dies as well, so that's 2 frag and 2 entry picks, even though the Uber's Raptor doesn't have the Uber yet, and maybe SVIFT will have to stay on last. But Silentes doesn't care. He doesn't care about the stickies. He just jumps in, getting really aggressive onto Mookie, onto the choke. He gets the frag onto the sniper, and he opens things up for his team.
Yeah, we do see SVIFT is taking control of the midpoint before they even finish off the cat. There's 4 spawns though, and Ubers is going to jump behind, trying to get onto Silentes, who's getting so much damage on the Funds, going to take him down after getting Hildreth, and now with Hildreth and Funds down, no demo mins means no stickies, and no traps means a free push into mid. They are going to be taking this point right away, and the forward spawns are going to be in favor of Hildreth. He will be getting into the fray before getting denied. Funds is still waiting on that respawn timer, and Lowpander getting in position. They do not have the Uber, and Raptor does.
Yeah, it looks like Ali wants to make his way through the big doors, getting aggressed by Mookie, but the Finnish soldier is finally taken down, and the Ubers is... I assume Crane will get his Uber in time, and I'm pretty sure Raptor will get the read on that, so I think... SVIFT will just take it slow, maybe try to play cautiously, try to get some sack onto Crayon onto last, and maybe force the Uber without committing too many people, and now... It's not about DM, it's about the brain now and what is the plan for SVIFT.
Hildreth setting up stickies close to the shutter now. Raptor is trying to call for a steam. They're going for the river route as Samsi's getting into position here. Going to be clearing out some stickies, but Hildreth has not set up anything over there. So Samsi's going to go sneak into water. Funds is going to walk forward very cautiously. Silentes very close. Going to get chipped away at by Funds here. He's getting a lot of damage, but no, he's going to get cleaned up there. Mookie also falls down, and now the cap is going on to the point. Samsi's behind. He's going to get cleaned up by Ubers. And Hildreth is going to go down from Banny. So now, no Demo Man. The Uber is forced off, though. Cran did get in time, and Ubers is flashing. It's getting flashed all over the place. We don't know who's going to get the better of this. Hildreth throwing, Ali throwing some stickies onto the point, and Banny getting taken down, but no, Ali will be able to clean up 6 kills on that streak, and that will win off the round. SVIFT, 2-0 lead in the first 5 minutes.
this push was really well executed. Samsi went under point and won his duel versus Mookie, and in the meantime Fonz died on point, so there were 2 down, and then they only had to force the Uber and play point during the Uber trade because there was no one alive from Lowpander to get some to contest it, and it was again really well played. Really like the way Swift play, because sometimes they just go full aggression and only rely on the DM, but sometimes you know they have a plan in mind and they execute it perfectly.
I want to get eyes on Silentes here for this mid fight because I'm feeling something in the air. Something just speaks to me right now that Silentes is going to do something incredible as he slowly works his way up to the left side. Going to be jumping in, following closely behind Vanny, getting onto Cran, gets the shot, and is able to clean that up. And now the rest of the aggression is collapsing onto it. Hildreth's going to take down Ast, and Ubers is going to take down Ali, but they are all going to drop down because it's just Ubers and Mr. Epic alive. Silentes falling close onto Mr. Epic, able to juggle him while Samsi gets the cleanup kill. And a drop down play is trying to happen here, but no, it's going to get cleaned up. Ubers will exchange with Samsi. And
Raptor. Uber's got Raptor in the backline, so really crucial pick from the Latvian soldier, completely saving the situation for his team. And now Crayon is on the crit kick once again. He's going to have like a good 40% Uber add onto Raptor, and if they are careful about Benny hiding on the big door, this could be a really good push for Lowpander.
Players are getting positioned defensively, and we see once again but this time with advantage. It's not a disadvantaged Kritzkrieg. They are far and away ahead with this Kritzkrieg advantage. And I don't know if Swift are going to be ready for this. There's a lot of damage onto both the soldiers. Silentes is very low on health. Going to get arrowed up. And now that we do see Hildreth is on the Kritzkrieg, he's going to popping it off right away. 2 for 1 with Ast and Bandy getting taken down. Stickies are not going to be able to connect on anyone else because Ali is going to be out on the choke. Samsi's rushing forward, getting so much damage onto Cran, but Cran is going to stay alive. Nice little arrow to take down Samsi. Raptor will have his Uber in time, but they are the only 2 players alive, and Hildreth is bombing forward, trying to stop them from getting in through the shutter. Ali now walking his way forward. He does spot out Hildreth and going to get some damage onto him. Follow-up bomb from Banny is going to be able to take that down. And Mookie, out of position here, going to get piped and is almost going to get taken down. Going to be rotating out just in time. And now the Uber is getting forced off Ombrack.
Easy to Uber getting forced off because look at Raptor just milking it forever. He's not even under pressure. Banny died. I think Banny expected Raptor to follow him in the Uber, and I'm pretty sure he's a bit tilted right now that he got dropped by his medic. But in the end, that was maybe the correct play because now Swift can walk onto second point with a fully charged Uber. Crayon nearly close to his crit with 85% on the charge, and looks like Swift is taking control over the second point. And yeah, Lowpander don't want to take this aggressively, it looks like.
Swift are now getting in position here, both in the lower lobby, but there's actually a little bit of aggression from Mookies and Funds. They're going to back off instead through the river. Samsi now getting in position with his teammate. Ali's going to be able to pick up Hildreth, and now with no Doman alive, Banny's going to be rushing, or Silentes is going to be rushing very aggressively through the river, going to be able to clean up Mookie. And there's a cap on the point. It's Ali from behind. He's just going to cap it. He went through and got to the point and just took it.
Yeah, it was... I don't really understand what is Lowpander doing right now. They looked really solid this season, but here it looks like they have flows everywhere up their wall and they crumble at every pressure from Swift. So maybe it's the LAN atmosphere that just stressing them up. I don't know, but this is not the Lowpander we all seen before, and they gotta react and do something really quickly if they want to stay in this game. Because if they lose this one, they're out of the winner bracket and they're gonna go down to the loser brackets.
Ali now rolling out through the choke. He's going to get an early sticky onto the players, working his way in. Mr. Epic going to get juggled, but aggression from Ubers is going to be pressuring Ali out of the choke point. Raptor now rotating through the elbow, but he's healing with those arrows alone. Hildreth's going to get the first frag onto Ast, and Ubers is going to get taken out by Ali, who's still at the choke, getting some pipe spam through the area. Mookie gets a headshot into Silentes, and now with Mookie still alive and playing at the big door, it's going to be very hard for the rest of the players to get the aggression. Swift is completely backed out as Benny gets taken down, and Mookie is still on Sniper, working into this second push, and they are on Kritzkrieg still.
And Raptor only has 80% of Uber, and this is a long way to go when you have to face a crits, especially if Lowpander tries to get it aggressively, but Crayon and Idris are just standing close to the point, not trying to get it aggressive. What are they going to do? Are they going to try to go for the drop play? I don't know if Swift is aware of the crits in the end of Crayon, but look the position of Raptor is up onto the pipe, maybe to counter actually the crit. So maybe they know Banny is just watching the balcony area, so no one gets to force the Austrian medic. And once again, this is going to be up to Lowpander and more specifically Mookie to unlock the safe of Swift.
Yeah, I think Raptor's getting in a position up there because they're afraid of the sniper. He doesn't want to sit into any spot where Mookie can get the freedom to shoot from river or lobby or balcony. They are fully aware of the sniper play. But actually, you know what I want to see from Lowpander is a fully charged Machina shot that gets crit screamed. That kills players and it penetrates them. Think about that.
Does it work?
Yeah, I don't think it works, though.
Okay, so for the meme then. But
Yeah,
look,
for the meme.
Mookie is making his way through the riverside. He gets Samsy with a fully charged body shot. Here you have your body shot, you asked for it. Here it is. And now the pressure is going to be a bit more heavy onto Swift. Silencer's trying to get really aggressive into the lobby, gets one nice rack into Idris, but he's forced to back out, and Samsy is going to be up again. This is once again a 6-man defense for Swift, and can Mookie get something else? Oh, the crits has been used on Idris on the riverside, and the Raptor answers with his own Uber. It drops Bunny onto the riverside, onto the charge. This is another tilt factor for the American soldier, and even if Ildref has been killed back, this is how the tilt happens.
Ali now on the top of the balcony going to try and deny the players from getting in. Kran's going to surf a sticky before getting piped down, and they are defensively holding onto this. Fun's going to get cleaned up by Ast. Picking up his third frag in this exchange. Mookie also in the lobby going to get taken down. I was so prepared for that wrap from Lowpander to take the round, but unfortunately they couldn't stop the players that were behind. They just gunned for the point. Tunnel vision is a killer, Ombrack.
Yeah, probably. Ali again was completely amazing. He managed to survive with a really low HP and get some very important damage. And now, Crayon still on the crit squid. Looks like this kid can't switch guns anymore. And Raptor is sitting on a 30% Uber ads. And they may gonna try to... Maybe not, they're gonna expect Lowpander to run the crits. I mean, they've been using crit scripts for like 20 minutes now when you take record into account. So maybe they're just gonna expect it to play around it.
Banny now jumping in over the top, trying to get into the shutter, but is going to get denied and juggled away. Uber is also going to have to back out, though, because they are not in position, because Mookie over in the big door gets taken down by Silentis and Samsy working their way in through the flank. Funz is actually getting juggled. Hildreth is going to be able to pick up on Silentis and follow up onto Samsy before getting taken down by Banny, who is now working his way through up top. He's trying to get damage onto Ubers, who's still alive, pressuring Banny. Ali's in the lobby right now. I can't decide who's going to get the action. Uber's going to be walking forward. He jumps in, but gets taken down by Ali. Nice sticky there. Just planting it at his feet and waiting for him to walk over it.
And the Ubers have been traded once again. It's kind of the same. Crits into the hands of Crayon, and it looks like Lowpander is kind of stuck by the crit streak. They can't really get any good picks when the crit is used. And Raptor, you said it, retaliates with the Uber all the time, so the crits has literally no impact in favor of Lowpander. It's like it hinders them more than anything, and maybe it's time for Crayon to try something else. We haven't seen any banner action from the Ubers, and that kind of surprises me, because this is why Lowpander is such a good team, their use of unlocks, but I think they're trying to abuse a bit too much of the crits now.
Yeah, Uber's now making his way in through. He has the battalion's backup on his distraction for the crits play from Hildreth, which did not connect because Raptor has able to force out the Uber. Banny gets a nice shot on Epic and is working their way through the shutter because they know there's no demo man, there's no stickies. They can work their way through the river. Instead, they see Funz and he gets in his face. Banny trying to do something here, but he's going to get juggled back. Follow-up bomb from Mookie, and Ubers is going to be able to do a lot of damage to take out Ast, but the player wrapped underneath the point, Sam's going to get pistoled down by Funz, and Banny grabs Cran. There's so many frags exchanging on all sides. It's just Mr. Epic spawning. He's not going to be able to get to the spawn in time, and that will be the 4th round to Swift. There's so many explosions.
It's such a weird play from Lowpander again, because the plan is for Swift is put someone onto the point, so everyone, and when they do that, everyone from Lowpander just is attracted to the point and everyone goes to the floor. I feel Crayon was the one contesting the cap, so you don't want that to happen, and when that happens, Banny just has to walk over the ledge, he has to jump over the ledge and just get spam rocket, and it's been twice that the situation happened now for Lowpander, and it looks like they're making kind of rookie mistakes.
That is very costly here in this land setting. Rookie mistakes for the biggest tournament of the TF2 community. Ali now at the choke point. Banny really quick with the follow bomb though. Is going to be getting in there, but gets taken down by Mookie. Cran is very low and trying to arrow his teammates, but can't. He's getting pressure from the players. He's all alone in the elbow, trying to make his way through, trying to heal Funz. Does get an arrow onto him in time, and Funz is now going to be making his way to the point. More arrows are going to expand. Cran's being more of a fragging presence here, shooting more arrows than healing. Fun's going to get healed up once again as Ali pressures them with the stickies. Now jumping in is Funds, getting onto Ali. Ali's so low on health, he's not going to be able to get out in time. He does manage to get around the corner before getting chipped away at by Funds, and Funds is still alive. Nobody's gotten onto the point even, and now the respawns from Swift are coming in. We're going to be getting into a second mid here, Ombrack.
Last
The
time there
crits!
was Chris has been used? No,
No, it's ready, it's ready.
Yeah, the Chris is ready. The last time there were 2 mids, Lowpander win both of them, so maybe that's gonna happen again, and it looks like it, because though as I said, Danny is going from jump, doing so deep onto Creon, gets the drop onto the medic, and Silentus with a follow-up cleanup frag onto Idris. This is looking so good for Swift. The Uber is finally used onto Raptor, but he picks up the look at Raptor, he just picked up the crit streak for the follow-up push from Swift. It's pretty clever from the Austrian medic, and what a play from Bani and his medic. They just went onto the drop down followed by Ali, and the bomb from Bani just landing onto Creon and crushing his skull was so impressive.
And so now we finally see, after a minute and a half, the cap is starting. Someone will own this midpoint at some point. And Hildreth out of position here, getting onto Banny, throwing some stickies, but I actually did enough damage to not get pressured by him. And Silentus is wrapping in through the big door with the help of Samzy, who is working his way through the lobby shutter, trying to trap out the players. Uber's is going to bob over to the choke to get some support. And actually, Lowpander is going to be a well-oiled machine here. They're holding on to this midpoint, not bleeding too deeply. And Hildreth not going to get caught out of position here at this time.
Raptor picked up his minigun again, so no crits action for Swift, and Ubers is just trying maybe to get some spam out of the choke. I don't know if that's been spotted, he's just standing on the lamp right now. And Crayon once again is on the crits, but there's no Uber advantage for Lowpander whatsoever. It's happened so many times now. Usually when you use crits, you want to have some seconds, some window of opportunity to use it without the other medic to have the Uber, but it never happens unless once. But on Recono, but that was a drop from Raptor, so yeah, it never really happened, and I feel like Lowpander trying to be really aggressive is just on the back foot all the time.
Yeah, the problem with Kritzkrieg is it's more of a surprise play, and now they're going to be popping the Kritzkrieg off into the Uber of Banny, who walks forward and juggles the player, but there is Mookie getting behind, doing a little bit of havoc here. Hasn't been taken down, finally going to be cleaned up by Ast as they work their way through the big door. Raptor taking a little bit of damage here. Could get pressured here as Mr. Epic is running forward, getting so much damage onto Ali, but Ali's going to stay alive for just a moment longer, throwing some pipes into the fray. Mr. Epic gets cleaned up, and the scouts of Swift are coming in full force. They are going to be wrapping around Samzy onto Hildreth. Hildreth getting so much pressure, he can't get spammed out. Finally gets taken out by Samzy, and Kran is in the spawn with the Kritzkrieg. Going to be having no teammates as Uber dies on the second point.
This could be the last push of this bracket game, because Uber... Are Swift gonna take it? Looks like they want to take it. Ali and Banny are sure they're trying to get some spam. Maybe they're just gonna go for the Uber now, because they're gonna assume once again the craze on the Chris script. But look at this, some aggression from Banny onto the point, just going there with the stickies from Ali. And in the meantime, Funds got Raptor uncontested. What happened there? That was such a weird play from Swift. They wanted to play so aggressively, and maybe just wanted to bring this map to an end, maybe a bit too quickly. And this is a really hard payoff for them.
Ali tried to bomb in at the last moment to get Kran because they know he was weak. He gets so much pressure from Silentus, but he could not finish the deed. And now Kran will have 100% Kritzkrieg as he gets healed up. And Samzy is on the sniper in the big door. Not able to get a shot off though, and he's getting pressured now. We're going to be seeing the crits play from Hildreth at any moment now. Ooh, but he takes a headshot. And he's going to be very low on health. Banny cleans him up thanks to that damage from the headshot. Banny juggled into the air. He's going to crater to his death. No, Funds is going to clean that up. And both soldiers are down, but Samzy's going to be able to pick up on the Funds. The crit rocket tried to fly through, but Samzy on the sniper is too strong. He's going to be SMGing the scout. Can't make it happen though. Mr. Epic going to be able to do that before Ali takes down Ubers. He's trying to sign him, but he can't do it. Raptor and Ali, the last players alive on this point. While Mr. Epic runs forward, he has reloaded his scattergun, but he can't get the final shot off. Raptor going to get a saw off and get the follow-up crossbow shot.
Well played from Samzy on the sniper. He landed 2 or 3 headshots in a row. Really impressive from the German sniper. And now Raptor is sitting on a 80% Uber ad. Ali is jumping across the choke, trying to get some time presence on the point. Banny is in the backline to get a duel onto Ubers and wins it. And this is looking really, really grim for Lowpander so far. Uber is ready onto Swift's side, and this might as well be the actual last push of the game.
Yeah, Funds wrapping around, getting back while they cap off the second. The players are all the way in river, ready to push. As soon as his cap goes off, the Uber is forced off. They want to stop Kran from getting anything here. He is going to surf away very nicely, but finally Banny's going to get that frag. Hildreth is sitting underneath the point, though. He will be a factor here while they work their way to the point. Banny sitting and sneaky, trying to work his way through while the rest of his team get into position. Silentus is going to pick up Mookie here, and Ass is running forward, but takes a pipe from Hildreth. And now with all this damage done and Samzy getting taken down, it looks very grim for this Swift push as Banny finally gets cleaned up in the sneaky room. Salentis backing up in the battlements and funds at the choke. Or the shutter, going to be enough point while pressure comes from Ali at the choke.
I think Swift is messing with me. It's been twice now that I've spoken about final push and they beef both of them, so maybe they just don't want this map to end. I don't know. Uber is trying to make his way through the big door, but he gets spotted by Samzy. It probably has to fall back here as he's on the prowl as well, trying to get the Lightning Soldier out of the fight. Mr. Epic is trying to help his fellow Russian, but it doesn't work out. And Ali gets a crucial pick onto Idra Demo from Demo, and this could open things up for Swift. They know they like to play aggressive, and Demo man pick onto Goody, which is a really good one, but maybe that now Crayon has a natural crit advantage. Maybe they want to use it.
Yeah, they're popping it right away, trying to get onto Salentis. Salentis is going to be the first frag as he works his way. Samzy going to be the second one as Uber's work his way, as trying to find the entry point, but he can't get there. They've locked themselves inside the battlements with sticky carpets all over the place. Ali going to grab Ubers as he works his way in. Now the Uber's forced off in the river. Ass is chasing down these players as much as he can. He's going to be getting onto the point now, waiting for the players. Funds tries to get in, but a follow-up from Ali is going to clean up all these players, and that's going to be the round. Swift take it, a clean 5-0, and advance to basically the upper bracket finals, if I'm not mistaken.
Semifinals.
No, it should be.
Oh yeah, no, you're right.
It's the upper bracket final.
Yeah, final.
So Swift is confirmed upper bracket final.
Yeah.
And the other game that's happening, I believe, is Seven
versus
and
Antic.
Antic.
Yeah, what a win from Swift. I mean,
Swift doing a very good job here
yeah,
with a 5-0 lead.
they had a really good win onto Essence on Gully Wash yesterday, and they do it again. It looks like Gully Wash is one of their strong maps. So Swift opponents, please ban Gully Wash if you want to win.
There it is, the word on the street from Ombrack. Our analysts are getting ready. They're putting their heads together, talking about some things, and we'll be kicking it over to Getaway, our host, I believe.
That guy's smart. He knows what he's talking about. Welcome back. I am Getawell, the bald one. We are back on the couch here. We got our boys. We got News. We got Epoli. And a 5-0. Maybe not what we were expecting. Maybe what we were expecting. Yes or no?
I wasn't expecting it to be that one-sided.
No?
No, definitely not.
yeah.
I would have thought like Lowpander would at least put up some kind of fight. Getting no rounds at all surprises me, but
Because they looked so good on Reckoner.
they certainly looked a lot better than what we saw here.
Yes.
We'll kind of go into it probably more in a minute, but you're gonna say a lot of it's come from this permanent use of crits across the entire map. It's, you know, you saw it was, at best, it created an equal situation for them.
Yeah.
At worst, they just got completely annihilated because 3 times 0 is still 0. It's, you know, if you're going to be using this crit permanently and you're going to be trusting for it to make big things happen against an Uber, you've got to be really, really good at it. And Lowpander were clearly, like, they were clearly very skilled. They had strategy for using it. It wasn't just crits and hope for the best. Their distractions were frequently actually just excellent.
Yeah.
Like, their ability to get opening picks from the crits quite consistently worked well, but it was what happened after.
Yeah.
And it was what happened, you know, after about 10, 12 minutes, and the crits, you know, had been run that entire time, and Swift started to think, well, let's just actually play around that finally. You saw it completely changed once Swift really started dealing with it, and it just locked Lowpander out of the fight completely.
It was like they had no backup plan, basically. News.
Yeah, I think the first few rounds, the first 3 maybe of Gully Wash were a lot more even, and they just kind of ended up going into Swift's favour. But the last 2, I think Lowpander must have been perhaps not
Threw the
feeling too
towel
good.
in.
Yeah, because I think they started to crumble a little bit. But when you're playing permanent crits versus Uber, it'll get to the point, no matter what, there'll be a point where you have crits and they have Uber, and you want to try and do something. And what
That didn't work.
What Lowpander tried to do was, we're going to use our crits to force their Uber.
Yep.
And we know that we'd lose that, so we're going to give up that point, and we're going to reset with an advantage and try and use that.
Yeah, so like you said, it's like
Yeah.
you're just breaking even.
But there's a couple problems with that. Like, sure, in the next fight, you have a crits advantage.
Right.
But that's not always an easy advantage to use. Like, even if you have some of the best critsing demos in the world. And Hildreth was doing pretty well.
Yep.
A lot of the crits he was getting 2 or 3 picks with it.
Yep.
Which is as much as you could ask of
He's
a demo
getting his
to do.
first stick on the first stick on
Yeah.
you know, the medic, for
A
example.
lot of times they were forcing Raptor to flash multiple targets, and he dropped people during the Ubers as well. So they were still getting crits frags against Uber. But when you're giving up that position, and that's the only response you have to the crits versus Uber scenario, it's predictable, but it's just not really a good solution, and it's relying on high risk plays. It's relying on Hildreth getting big frags. At the times where he didn't get any frags with the crits, they just crumbled completely. Teamwork and lost the round.
Yeah.
What I'd like to see, just when we were mentioning the defensive crits on lasts.
Yep.
They made it work with Reckoner with the Mookie bomb, but
Yep.
There's one thing that I like seeing. I don't see many teams do nowadays, is where when you know they have Uber and they're trying to push your last, if you put aggression onto them to force their Uber early, and you have a heavy, preferably running a Tommy Slav, waiting, as soon as they pop the Uber and they start to flood in through the choke points, you can crits the heavy and do the 27 damage with every bullet across the map on any non-Uber targets. So it just takes, the hit scan players are hit scan players.
Right.
They just need to aim and track against whoever's not flashing the Uber, and they can put out enough damage to turn the fight, even against invulnerable players.
Yeah, there's no fall off. Yeah.
So yeah, I'd like to see that, but it's kind of a risk with how weak heavy can be.
Yeah,
against
and when
multiple
it doesn't
targets.
work, you look foolish.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
again,
when it
more of a
works, it's
surprise.
great. Yeah, exactly. Well, we can pull up the log to have a look at some of the numbers because Twitch loves numbers.
Wow. Ali.
From a 5-0, how much can you really learn?
That's true.
You
I
know?
guess. I always try and say that when looking at logs. Like if it's one-sided, it's hard to make appropriate analysis from the numbers, because when you look at that, you see how dominant Ali and Ass
401 damage a minute. Ali, boy, what is this?
It's Gully Wash demo.
To quote a great man, what is he made of? Rest in peace, Brennan Hug. Sorry.
Rest in peace.
Epoli, you have a thought about to come out?
Yeah, obviously Ali goes huge more or less always. He's, incredibly strong like a DM demo.
Yep.
The fact that Swift pounded very heavily on mids as a result of Lowpander taking passive positioning on Big Door, I'm going to say that has to be a large amount of it. It seemed a lot of the mids came down to, they're having Mookie perma-snipe, I think, almost every mid, maybe actually every mid.
Yes. I think it was everyone.
And the vast majority of mids, I only saw one mid where they could effectively protect him.
Yeah.
At least 2 mids in a row, Banny did this same like pogo across point,
Right.
straight onto Mookie on Big Door, completely takes him out, and then not only is like Mookie dead, so Lowpander playing 5v6, but Banny also has control of their Big Door, cutting off another direction for them to leave, possibly. It's also like reasonably easy for him to then work with the team to like at least force them out of choke, if not kind of like even wrap them.
Just funnel them out, just very easily.
Exactly. And the one mid where it kind of, like he kind of did get denied a bit, literally all Lowpander did was they just left a scout on the floor just a little bit longer, completely denied Banny. Banny ended up going down, Silentes ended up going down to the sniper, and I believe Lowpander just about did manage to win the mid, but it's the same kind of thing again, like that would
they were
probably...
on crits.
Exactly. Like that would, it's the same kind of thing again, like that would probably work once, but after that then happens, Swift would adapt and then Lowpander need to find something new, and considering it took them basically, 4 rounds or whatever it was in order to get this one thing that worked, like they just
not
don't,
good enough.
yeah, they just don't fix things fast.
And it's like, and we just saw this yesterday. These two teams played on this exact map, and they did the exact thing. Banny had his little jump across, which I like because Lowpander, we saw in Reckoner, they like to run heavy to deny the soldier jumps, but that's not really, you can't really do that on Gully mid. It doesn't really, it's not really the same. It's more, that jump across is sort of lower, and you don't want to run a heavy to mid on Gully. It's just not, it's not the strategy they used. So
it more or less just leaves him on the floor, taking no position or space, and doing about 10 damage a shot across the map. Like they can just play point at that.
So
time.
yeah, my point is, it's just it's unfortunate and maybe a bit strange to see that Lowpander just still has no answer. It's like Banny's just defaulting to doing his jump because it works great yesterday, works great today.
Yeah.
We have what was that, John? We have the other log. Did you say? Let's bring up the other log. It's going to be right on our screen here momentarily. There it is. This was a 5-1 as well. Again, a shout out to Ubers, who's been really pounding. We already had this log, didn't we?
Yes.
Yeah, we already had this one.
First match.
But here it is again.
Well, it's more or less, like Reckoner was a lot more interesting to watch. It was a lot more kind of back and forth. Gully Wash really was one-sided, but even the back and forth bits on Reckoner is still all going in Swift's way in terms of control. This
Yeah.
is just like, this is the recurring theme. It's kind of sad to see, considering at least I was anticipating Lowpander to be a solid 3rd place, possibly
Yeah.
4th if Antic really show up, but
An upsetter, an
Exactly.
upset team.
Exactly.
Spoiler.
But considering, Lowpander would arguably be the 3rd place team, as it looks, the idea of it being Swift and 7, the only real teams able to contest that 1st place, it's a little bit disappointing.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
look, I mean, 1 round out of 11
Yeah.
that Lowpander got. and
It's very overwhelming.
2 straight maps.
'Cause-
Like, you'd expect that Lowpander to put up a better fight. I mean, it
After
is
Reckoner,
Swift.
I had the sense, and you guys probably did too,
Yeah.
that Lowpander, maybe they were going to sort of get something rolling, but it was just the opposite. They got
Perhaps
rolled over.
It's the newbies to land for the Lowpander guys. I don't think Mookie, Mr. Epic, or Ubers has played on land before. Whereas
Yeah.
everyone on Swift has played land before. I don't think Raptors played with a top team, but everyone else definitely has. So maybe
Yeah.
it comes down to LAN experience. I mean, that was always a really big thing in ESEA lands.
Yep.
It was always like the guys with LAN experience on the teams in terms of the individuals are going to play well. And that seems to be the case so far this LAN.
Yeah, I mean, you got Hildreth, who's obviously a vet. You got Funds, who's had a couple, and but it is a team game, and it's I mean, it's just hard to argue with the experience on Swift.
Yeah.
Bottom line. Did you guys have any other some plays you wanted to talk about or other points?
I think that was about it for this map, at least. I don't want to, leave not enough room for the later stages of the analysis.
The good stuff. Okay. So what are we heading to then? Are we going to head to a break then, John? We have some other results. Here we go. 7 Antic was 2-0 in favor of 7, I'm assuming, correct? 3-1 Process, 2-1 Gully after a golden cap. So
Ooh.
7 continuing to do well. One of the favorites in this tournament.
Yeah.
Not a real big surprise.
Right, Gully
Golden
Wash.
cap.
Gully Wash going to Golden Cap is closer than I'd anticipate, considering Gully was a classic 7 crowns map.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the way 7 plays, like, they can absolutely dominate a game and it be 2-1 or 2-0. Like, 7's not really the team where if they dominate a game, it'll be 5-0, 5-0, you know?
Yeah.
Because of just how they play. They're happy playing off smaller round advantages because they're so kind of in control.
Yeah, it feels like we're broken records news, but if you can get an early round or two against 7, you can be in a good spot,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's actually why I missed the first 2 rounds of this game. Was because I was watching Antic play, and I saw them get the first round in Gully Wash in. They
Yeah.
did it in a really convincing manner. So
Yeah, but I mean, to 7's credit, they are figuring out a way to overcome that, and
Yeah.
they're having a great tournament so far.
Yeah, I think based on like the games we've seen, the 7 Swift first matchup, whenever that is, I think that's going to be an incredible game.
Yeah, that's some people. I've been talking to people in the crowd, and that's what
Everyone's waiting for.
the people want to see. Do we have some fans of 7 and Swift in the crowd? Can we hear the crowd a little bit? Hello, crowd, are you there? Woo!
I like it.
It's just an a wakefulness check of the crowd. The crowd are committed, man. We love the crowd, and it's growing. And as we move on through, we just saw Swift. They've punched their ticket now to the upper bracket final. As we move through double elim, the matches are tending to get better and better. The crowd's tending to get more and more interested. Splatoon is starting to end, so we're going to have a huge swing in audience attendance. I think we don't have to compete with those guys anymore. Are there any other results, John, that we have? Not sure
Maybe
if
we could get the. There
wasn't really anything else.
Screen. I don't know if it's up.
Pardon?
Maybe we could get the bracket on the stream.
Yeah, can we get the bracket? Do we have the technology to put the bracket on the screen?
I don't know if it's updated.
Show us some
with the
cool
recent
graphics. Oh, there it is.
So, logically,
It hasn't been updated.
Okay, well, I mean,
But this is what it looked
we
like at
know-
one point. This is a time capsule.
so we'll be seeing Swift 7.
Yeah, so we know that's... There we go. There we go.
Yeah.
So we got, Swift 7, so that's confirmed, and that'll be coming up. As for the lower bracket, there's some other matches going on, as you can see. You would expect... who do we expect to claw their way through the lower?
Ascent might.
Probably Ascent.
Yeah, well, I mean, I doubt they'll lose to any of the 3 teams in the lower bracket round 2. The other 3 teams, I should say. But I'd imagine they're set to have a chance of upsetting. Like, Lowpander are probably not feeling great after losing 5-1, 5-0 to SVIFT.
No, but they know that they're not out, and they know that, is it to their benefit that they get to, play, 4 or 6 or however many more maps to sort of, maybe try some alternate strategies or to build their confidence back up? Or, I mean, it might play to their advantage, or is it the opposite? Do you get like exhausted and tired out by the end of that?
I-58, Full Tilt got knocked into the lower bracket,
Yep.
and they went on a crazy run.
Yeah.
And they eliminated 3 of the top 5 teams or something like that.
Yep.
And that helped them, I felt, a lot, because then they won the first 2 maps of the grand final, and
Yep.
they were looking in such a good place.
Yep.
It was only that Crowns managed to make some miracle
Outclass,
happen
yeah.
that they won.
Yeah, so I mean, to be totally honest, and this might sound like we're just making up stories, but the lower bracket and how that kind of shakes out might be fairly interesting by the time we get to, say, the lower bracket final, to see who it'll be. I mean, we've got Lowpander down there and Antic, and could be interesting. But that's how it looks right now. That's all up to date. What do we have coming next? What do we have? There's more TF2, I can tell you that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that
It's
one.
not going to be TF3. It's not going to be TF1. We're probably going to have Weeb Tunnel, or Lolly Squad, as they're called, or as they were formerly called, against Nunya, as we work our way through that lower bracket. And I think that's mostly what we're going to be seeing. We're going to be working our way through that lower bracket and then getting ready for later this evening, the good stuff.
Yeah,
good
the good
stuff. But it's good. I mean, the lower bracket matches should all be fairly even, really, as we get toward the end of it.
Well, that's it. It should be like you would expect Lolly Squad and Nunya to be very close. Like, I think previous results have been pretty close together. Kind of
Yeah, I
them.
think they've taken maps off each other.
Those 2 teams in no input should be on like a similar level. So seeing that kind of thing will be interesting. Obviously, as much as neither of those teams are going to be looking to win the event or maybe even like place in top 4, there's something to be said for not coming last at LAN.
Yeah,
like, there's
still pride.
There's
Yep.
a significant amount of ego there, just not being the worst in the invite group.
Yep.
You know, I think there's still teams wanting to fight hard.
Sorry for ego. I'm just European, etc.
Exactly.
Is that still a thing?
I guess.
We'll tell you what. Yeah, we've got some great moments coming. Even those lower teams, we've seen a lot of great highlight-worthy moments and air shots and awesome play and moments that we might be seeing in highlight movies. But we're going to take a break so you can stop listening to our dumb voices. So you don't want to go anywhere. When we come on back, we're going to have more action, lower bracket, upper bracket, and then eventually we are going to, by the end of this evening, have our grand final set. You want to stick here with us on Twitch TV. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Reach for me. There